And welcome back. So we're going to have G2 versus Mousesports. That looks going to be our second of 4 games tonight, our second European game. After this, we go into North America. Dan, G2 versus Mousesports. What's going on?
Mousesports will win 2-0.
Why?
Because they are good. And G2 are not good right now, James.
Well,
G2 lack tactical and strategical depth. We saw this previously. And so if you're going to go against a team like Mousesports and you don't have like the ability to, because maybe from some perspectives they have the ability to outplay them individually, but I'd say that consistently over time, Mousesports are a better, like stronger inside individually. I mean, do you think that's fair?
Individually, I don't know. I mean,
okay, who do you have? The 3 hard hitters: shox, scream, and RPK. Hard hitters.
Very quickly,
yeah.
While we have this information on the screen, let's have a quick look and see the vetoes. We have Cash as the first map. Cobblestone will be the second, and the tie will be Dust 2. I know shox is a good Dust 2. So okay, we have I suppose what chrisJ versus SmithZz. I mean, neither of them are playing amazing, really. So
okay, NiKo next and chrisJ, Spiidi and Denis have all been playing very well. Spiidi and Denis more of the two supports, especially kind of Denis the kind of harder support for the team. They've actually been having like really good results recently, which is really encouraging, because if there's like a strong support structure for players like Next to have some breathing room, for players like NiKo to have some space, and for players like chrisJ to be able to play his game as well. And we've been seeing that more consistently. These 3 important players that can really deliver the results individually for the team have been performing for Mousesports. Mousesports are doing better in that regard.
Yeah.
And I just don't see the consistency for G2, because okay, Scream can he can one-tap some people, James, but I don't see him consistently showing his style doesn't seem to consistently be good.
It doesn't bring results.
It's not consistently good like NiKo, for example. Like NiKo can tap people as well, but he knows when to do it, when to use that style. When he's in 1 versus 3 in certain situations, he's going to be like, okay, this is probably a better situation to do that, and he's a bit better at understanding which like techniques to use and how to position himself than Scream. I think NiKo I think is a better player than Scream.
Yeah, I mean, he's more effective, so it's hard to argue that.
Yeah.
I think for G2 at the moment, I feel like in a lot of important rounds, it's all about shox being the pivotal man, getting the kills, putting them from a bad situation, which is getting worse, into a strong situation. I feel like there's in the matches we've watched recently, he's had to do that a lot for them to take rounds where if they don't get these key rounds, then they're going to lose the map. So I feel like perhaps shox is a bit of a crutch at the moment for the team, especially now they're lacking the strategy, which is quite a stark difference.
I think that's actually quite a decent point. And one thing it reminds me of, which I'm kind of disappointed in, is that, again, like, G2 had a lot of set pieces that were really strong on this map, but since Existence left, we haven't seen them once. They were really good, James. Well, it's the pistol, and NiKo is going to be opening things up onto shox, so already shox is going to be taken down by the star player of Mousesports, and perhaps one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world at times, in NiKo. And Mousesports, I mean, they have been tagged down really heavily here. NiKo and Denis are 1 shot away from death potentially, depending on where the shot lands. And the bomb will go down for G2. So they have the bomb secured at the very least, but can they win the round?
So next on the flank gets taken down. We've got 3 players coming up short for the CTs here. 4 against 4. There is a kit being carried by chrisJ as well, so there's still work to be done. NiKo taking bodyy down, but now the Ts will have to try and avoid the angles, but Scream getting taken down. They're all getting taken down. RpK's alone now, and there is far too much time on that bomb. 2 very quickly for him. The bomb ticking faster now. He needs to stay alive for a few more seconds. The kit's on the floor, and he might have done it for his team if he can just hang on here. NiKo down. Spiidi tries to do what he can, understanding the time issue, but it will not happen. RpK with a monster hold there on his own. A 4-man for him. Solid stuff.
That got so awkward, didn't it? I mean, usually when the players push that far, you expect at least somebody to get a headshot, but nobody got headshots yet. They're all just awkwardly alive for a long time. So G2 do close the round in the end, which is really nice. So the problem for them is now going to be the Deagles of Mousesports. This is the amazing thing with the Deagles, is that you don't really need Kevlar, because the style that you'll play with the Deagle is not that you'll be wanting to run around and face them and take body shots. You're going to get the 1 or 2 shots and then back away to a new angle, because the Deagle at long ranges can only be accurate. You know, take the 1 shot, let it recover before taking another shot. So it's actually an economical way to deal a lot of damage. NiKo, getting toyed with there, teased. And NiKo actually did go for a Kevlar helmet, which I think is quite cool because if NiKo picks up a rifle, if he's the guy to get a rifle, he's going to have the most impact, we know, consistently for the team.
Yeah, and I think, he has a lot more consistency with the deagle than most players with it. So you can see he's not going for pot shots there. He's not kind of, just trying to gamble. He's trying to take considered shots where he may be under a bit of fire. But if he lands his shot, then he'll come out on top. Flashed off the angle as the door is opened by RPK, making things a little bit safer for the T side. And it seems G2 are committed to the execute towards A. Eventually, got a few Molotovs, just clearing a few places out. chrisJ playing on the default spot there, gets 1 kill, but down to a 2 versus 2 now. Spiidi versus shoxy and Scream. He's been over towards the B bomb site, has Spiidi. 2 headshots required to take this round for his team. Much damage down to the G2 side. Bomb being picked up now and planted for main, where Scream is holding cover.
Yeah, NiKo getting 2 kills, 2 headshots in the end, actually, when they got very close and distracted. So NiKo did the job here. If Spiidi just even gets 1 more frag, that is going to add insult to injury. That's actually painful for G2. Especially as Mousesports. Oh, nice. Before I can finish my sentence, Spiidi with the shot there. Oh, the timing. I don't know what he was pulling out. Was he pulling out a grenade? He may have been pulling out a grenade there. I think he was.
I think he was pulling out a grenade, but he hadn't really peeked the whole of main when he did that, so unfortunate for him.
Yeah, timing, man. The timing. But still, they got 4 kills, and they can get some deagles in this round again. And NiKo's going to be able to get another deagle, so that's pretty sick. Did he get dropped a deagle in the last round, I wonder? Because he had armor and helmet. He must have been, because otherwise he couldn't have 2K in this round and still be able to buy a deagle like that.
Well, if he got a kill in the...
Oh, right, he got 2 kills, you're right. So either way, it's the push that's going to work out for the team here. These deagles, these pistols, they're going to be so effective, and they're going to get 2 gun shaves.
Good start for the... oh, hello. shoxy with 2 kills on a PC50, and he finds a third. This is what I'm talking about, pivotal shoxy. He has to do this for his team. Down to 2 versus 2 now, and Scream, he is going to clean things up. That was quite messy. shox with 3 P250 kills there. That is very, very nice indeed. P250 pays for itself, and then some. So 3-0 for G2. We'll see if there are any more rounds where shoxy will come in big for his team like that.
That was insane. Insane. 3 insanely quick headshots with the P250, and now G2 are going to be in an interesting spot here because Mousesports, they got this 1 buy, but they don't have control of the match like they may have done if they were in a position to win, or if they actually won that last round, which it looked very likely they were to do so. But chrisJ picks up the opening kill on RPK, and this is where we might start to see G2 having struggles, because previously they had so much. Again, they had so many cool strategies and set pieces under resistance, which we haven't really seen much of. But you can see G2 tossing in some initial Molotovs here to eliminate some potential positions, but it really does also suggest to the CTs that they are going to go for this A site, and the rotation starts to happen. Scream picks up the headshot on Denis towards short, and now chrisJ has turned his attention, his mighty gaze has been put upon the A main area with that AWP in hand.
It seems G2 are fearing the counter nade, so you can see Scream's moved, shox has moved all the way back to the entrance to A main. He's in a position to double peek, and he pushes with SmithZz, and he's holding behind the wall just in case there's any flashbangs, any aggression from the CT side. Things starting to calm down now, and Mousesports appear to be moving into a more traditional setup. So the A site will no longer be stacked. Now G2 have bided their time. They will approach the A bomb site in timely fashion. So Mousesports in lesser positions, but NiKo will take down shox for free.
Yeah, that's a big frag there. That's going to slow things down a little bit. NiKo is causing so many issues here in the site, slowing down G2, allowing his teammates to rotate, picking up the initial frag as well. The bomb will go down regardless, of course, but I think NiKo's delay here has given more chances to Mousesports, trying to find a way into position next, trying to wrap around, trying to take down the player on quad. Ooh, nice shot there from Scream. And it's going to be now just chrisJ and Spiidi left alive. Now just chrisJ as SmithZz or other bodyy picks up the kill onto Spiidi. So chrisJ is going to move to save the AWP, and a well played, but a simply and well played round by G2. You get that first pick, you bait out some grenades, then you wait just enough time whereby you could be setting up a push in B now, but in reality they weren't. But the doubt was there. The doubt was there for Mousesports. They didn't know what was going on, so they had to go back to, as you said, a more traditional setup, weakening their defense. And NiKo only came out with one frag. It looked like he needed more to get more than one. In hindsight, as GT did just win with 3 players left alive after all. So 4-0 is the score. But chrisJ still has an AWP.
Yeah, and he's got 6 kills in 4 rounds, so he will be important going forward. I think I spot some deagles indeed, triple deagles, as the Germans are loving deagles at the moment, as well as NiKo, who is obviously Serbian. So, good start on the anti-eco here from G2. And what is the play here from chrisJ? Lost 2 members already. He is close to the B bomb site, however. As I say that, he's definitely over towards A, because he will be looking to save. It's going to be a long time for him to try and save this AWP, though. We'll see if the T's choose to hunt. Now they will continue to secure the area. Dennis coming up towards the top, and chrisJ, we'll see what he chooses to do. I mean, if Dennis gets a frag, then maybe they go for it. You can see RpK is in a bit of a vulnerable position. Down he goes. And that's going to help the CTs save in this area. Dennis will salvage the AK as well, but shox is coming in from the back, and he may not be expected by these CTs. Just holding an angle. They know where he is. There's a CT, I think no, there's a T. Both of the connector. The Mac-10 not doing the job. So Mouse making the right play to go to CT spawn, and they may just save yet. shox with no nades, got his gun though. chrisJ will take him down, saving Dennis's skin, hiding behind the van.
That's such a cool round there from Mousesports, to be able to find like 3 kills and to be able to save both the AWP and an AK. That's massive going into this round. You can see now there's a chunk of change that's been saved.
Next should really have thrown that AWP to NiKo, because he had a better spawn, which is now a bit spoiled. Depending on what he wanted to do, just a small note.
He's going towards A this time, in which he's usually tasked in holding, but the quick push from G2 into B will potentially deny NiKo, although NiKo will actually pick up the frag on the lurker towards Squeaky. So that's actually a lot of peace of mind now for Mousesports, knowing that the lurker is dead and that the player's coming in towards B and they just have to deal with it. Although G2 already occupying the site, however, the bomb not planted just yet. It's giving a lot of time here to Mousesports to set up a retake.
Yeah, but that just quickly, it shows you. I'll come back to it later, actually. NiKo's gone down now. So, a sticky situation for Mousesports. Do they go for the save again? It might be hard for them to go in for the retake. Maybe if Nex gets an early frag, then they can do something here. But it might be a situation where they just try to hold this area once again on their save, and indeed, that will be that. So again, chrisJ threw an AWP to NiKo, and he bought another one for himself to go for a double AWP setup. And NiKo had a great spawn, as I mentioned, but the AWP was just on the floor next to Nex, who could have picked it up and thrown it to NiKo, and he could have had an even better spawn. On this occasion, he went to push Squeaky, and he got the kill anyway. But maybe that extra second, if you play that scenario out more times, gets him killed, where he might have just thrown him the AWP. So, I mean, that to me is quite sloppy. If you have a good spawn and you want to push Squeaky, then your guy should be throwing you the AWP, so you're going to have to run backwards to get it.
And one thing at the end of that round, which I found interesting too, is that Mousesports bought so much time to retake the bomb site, and that they could have put 2 players instead of, because you never usually want to rush through vents, at least not with 2 players, 1 at max. But they could have taken B storage with 2 players. They had so much time to do that, but they just waited outside the vent. One guy died, and they're like, okay, screw this. But into the next round, and we have a quick mid-take, a very quick mid-take. But Denis, he's going to burn one alive, as well as finding a headshot. And now all of a sudden, NiKo picks up a frag with the AWP, and it looks pretty bad here for G2. It doesn't just look bad, it looks almost hopeless. Scream's on 7 HP. RpK is going to take a shot to the face. Scream, I think here's the reload right now, but he's very aware that Nex could be arriving at any moment. So Scream, get anything done here. 1 kill, looking for the second. There is another one. Scream claiming lives, claiming souls. The Reaper of Souls. We'll have the 6-1 now as Mousesports bounce back. And there's 11k on Denis, actually, which is kind of sick. So the bank is fairly healthy for CT side, despite losing so many rounds. And it's actually G2 who are going to have to eco if they lose this round.
Well, double AWP's continuing for the CTs. Got the boost coming into red into warehouse to see if there's any pushes in coming in for the CTs. Any early aggression? Scream is often the one who gets boosted up, actually, onto boost position. We'll see if he ends up there later. If they go for a late mid take, then I expect he will be up there looking to pop heads. So they'll just hold angles, will the G2 side at the moment, enjoying a 5-round lead over Mousesports in the first map of this best of 3. You can see Next playing the short rotate. Both players who are playing mid currently in the white box position, which I think we saw in a previous, I want to say we saw that in the previous match as well. 2 players playing over there, nobody playing in dead connector. So you are more vulnerable to being picked over there. Less protection. Harder to respond back to the frag. So indeed it seems the mid take will come in for G2, and it has been abandoned by Mousesports, and they've moved to passive A as well. Maybe looking to go for a retake in case the split comes in from G2.
Yeah, it's not looking too ideal, but they will have players in place in time. But it looks like G2 should be assured the entry. Unless Spiidi does something insane with this M4. He's got a lot of players to worry about. Will his teammates flash in? I don't think he even needs any flashes. 2 quick kills for Spiidi, and that's the push completely shut down. They don't even look like they'll be able to get into the site at this point. And indeed, that's going to be the case as shox stands the last man alive for the G2 side with a task on his hands, which looks a little bit too steep to accomplish. Loses all but 6 HP in that first engagement, and he will be silenced. 6-2, Mousesports break the economy of G2. G2 without a bomb plant. And the bomb plant would have actually allowed them to buy in this round, which would have been a good play. But instead, they won't be able to really do much. Just some deagles, and that's basically it. But will they get any kills? That's the, another story entirely.
Deegs coming out with a piece of... Ooh, body's gone down immediately. Facing mid, trying to get an early shot there. If he had a good spawn again, he could try and take Denis down as Denis crosses through mid to the short box area. The rest of the G2 side going to be over towards A. Just shoulder peeking there. No grenades whatsoever, no smokes, no flashes, just the pistols and their chests. That's all they have to offer. And they will be taken down one by one. They've got 1 player who's made it onto the site now. But how much can RpK do as the last man standing? Well, Denis has gone down. The forces will continue to increase, and now the round is over. So not much to be said there. Again, no eco executes from G2. No, I mean their odds of getting a bomb plant there were pretty small. Taking 1 person down, we move on.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's the impact that is had by not getting the bomb down in the round previous, because they would have been able to force it up there with some AKs and nades and stuff, had they done that. And then on this round, had they gotten the bomb down again in the previous round, having given themselves a chance to do so, they would have another buy because of the loss bonus building up. So it's unfortunate. Oh, yes, yes. This used to be very common with the German teams, the run boost, and it's so efficiently pulled off there.
I think Scream saw him immediately.
What? Doesn't matter.
Scream's dead there.
Yeah, he is very dead, and they will try to spam quickly, but it looks like Denis gets out of dodge. Will they nade the position, though? That's another question entirely. 4 versus 4, and the T's yet to make their move, but now the bomb has been picked up, and it's going towards A.
I expected he would get a nade out there, despite being spotted. Was susceptible to maybe being shot, but he will get the kill onto SmithZz. Down goes Spiidi eventually in a trade to RpK. And the T's move into the site, out of the squeaky door, out of main. Next, dancing around the smoke though, got his teammate coming in from the other side of Forklift. That's Denis who will take down RpK and shox soon afterwards. So it's body versus 2. He needs to find headshots. We know he's capable. We've seen it before. Denis just moving down in time. See if bodyy is brave enough to walk through the smoke. So essentially both holding the angle, trying to stop the plant, but bodyy doesn't even have the bomb. It's on the other side of the site. And that angle is really not recommended. So Denis goes down. Question is, where is chrisJ? He knows where he is now. He's heard a noise and now he's dead. 1 man surviving for Mousesports, who continues to close the gap between themselves and G2. But it was an expensive round and they will have to spend quite a lot. That said, G2's money, around $3,000, a bit difficult now, so it's a good opportunity for Mousesports to build the bank once again as we move into the last third of the first half.
Yeah, it is a good opportunity indeed. And Mousesports, in some senses, you know, I would liken them to FaZe. They need those big CT sides. It's where they can really be very dominant. And oh, chrisJ, it's time to consume some lives. There's the first player dead with the AWP of chrisJ. More marching in. The nades there. He's defensively. Has to pull out the P250 momentarily. He's got some help coming in from vents, but it might not be soon enough. chrisJ gets one frag. Next comes in for the second. chrisJ will die though. But that will be that. 3 players dead is a decent result from G2 considering all that they had bought, which was not all that much. But at the same time, money's still decent for Mousesports, and G2 will be on the buy as expected. AWP on SmithZz. Already 6 rounds for G2. So, you know, things looking pretty decent overall. I do wonder if NiKo is going to get aggressive this round. We've seen some door pushes from him. We've seen some A main pushes from him. What is he going to do this time? Is it another door push? Yes, it is. Maybe. Look at that, just a little bit of delay there before going through the door. And then he gets flashed out of the angle. You can see the fear there that the other team is using a flash to prevent NiKo getting picks there.
Ooh, chrisJ knows his angle almost too well there. Could have been a frag. Was close, but not close enough. So G2 still posturing outside B with 4 players. One is in T warehouse, seemingly watching the vents moving into mid itself now. Is shox. So this looks like a quick B split. 2 players on the site, one coming up for on the high ground, which should be quite helpful. chrisJ on the site, and again, that high ground factor, how's it going to come into play? We've got flashbangs coming in, but just the 1 kill. Next gets taken down. Spiidi with 2 on the site. In the smoke now, Denis will take down Scream. So this is a hard fail for G2. shox last man standing, looking to clutch the team again. 2 frags for him. Can he get another pivotal round for his team? chrisJ on the site will finish things off with the AWP. 2 people surviving, both the AWPs for Mousesports. That was a very strong hold from them. But again, they had the time to have the 3rd man rotate into the high ground. It was a combination of the flashbang slowing down G2. They never made it onto the site.
Yeah. I mean, G2 had one of their stronger. I mean, again, in the existence era previous, before he was pulled out of the team, he had this set piece onto that site that was incredibly strong. And it would be cool to see if G2 could actually replicate it properly in the future. But I don't know. Obviously, all the players, apart from bodyy, would know the relative roles. bodyy would just have to learn what existence was doing in that one. But either way, G2 now looking to pressure into the A site. Bomb on the back of SmithZz. No AWP for SmithZz. shoxy darting around the door. So Mousesports not wise to this push just yet. Will they get any information, or will they just hold here? They're playing quite passively in middle, so they do have fast rotation for 3 players to be attentive to the A bomb site. But here comes the push, I think, or maybe not. These smokes, man, they're just delaying everything for G2.
Yeah, this is going to be quite the war of attrition. We've still got a few grenades left, just the 1 smoke onto the G2 side. How will it be used? Will they be able to flash themselves through into quad? NiKo takes bodyy down as the smoke has gone, and now the players are close to the site. But the CT on short could stop them from jumping onto the top. Scream runs through the smoke here, but he gets punished as well. Another push from G2 looks to be shut down completely by the Mousesports side. RpK is standing on default, wondering what could have been put out of his misery by Denis.
Just interesting, James. In the last, by the end of today's best of 3s, we will have casted something between maybe 38 to 48 maps, basically, in the space of 3 days. And I haven't played any Counter-Strike in the space of those 3 days, James. But that's a lot of Counter-Strike to watch and not play Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I want to play, Dan. So I want to play because I've applied loads of stickers to games with guns. And I want to see them shine, Dan.
Oh my God.
I want to see the shiny.
All right, well, quick frag made by shox there. It's going to take down Denis. But the choke points are still being protected by the CTs. They will not let the Ts through, except for the middle choke points, in which they don't give a damn, seemingly. Spiidi upon a quick check. He has found intruders, and the intruders will take him down. Trespassers will win the day so far. 2 versus 4, and this is not looking too well for Mousesports. 1 versus 3 now, although Scream is weak. Actually, nice frag onto bodyy. Unawares of the position of chrisJ. He gets a free one, but shox is coming from above. I don't think there's any way that chrisJ will ever stop shox from killing him here. If shox just keeps holding this angle, and chrisJ is just, oh god, from head to toe, he'll feel that one. As shoxy has just a superior position, and there's nothing you can do. 7-7, and for me, even though I feel like Mousesports are a lot stronger, G2 have picked up a lot of rounds. So I really don't know how this map's going to play out when we go into the second half.
Yeah.
I really have no idea at this point.
One would expect that G2, generally speaking, the way they are at the moment, would have a better time of things on the CT side, generally of any map almost, maybe not Cobblestone, than the T sides. Although, that said, Mousesports will field a more tactical approach on their T side. So, indeed, Dan, I have no idea what may happen as we continue to go forwards. But NiKo is causing more problems with the squeaky door and the AWP. And just so those of you at home know, we are using the older version of cache because there are 2 bugs at least on the new version. If you're in the squeaky door and you open it, it opens inwards instead of outwards. And also if you're in the vents and there's a flashbang outside of the vents, if the vent is not broken, then you will not be flashed. So I would avoid that in matchmaking. Well,
the mid take comes in, and looks good here for Mousesports. The hold is really strong, and you know, NiKo's picking on door is actually so sick. The thing is, if you want to go door, and you're not going to use flashes, you're going to die. Basically, that is what I've learned. If you're playing as NiKo, you will die unless you flash him off.
There is a timing you can do on your own in towards squeaky. If you're running towards squeaky, basically the hole towards the squeaky door from the T side is a bunch of broken bricks. If you look at it, like there's missing breeze blocks and so on. But if you just run at them and you aim your crosshair a little bit lower than one, then you can bounce a flash into that hallway that will land behind you. And if you just keep running, then you can peek almost simultaneously as it goes off. So people have to look away or do a timing shot where they'll be blind. Maybe they're lucky and they get you, a la Long on Dust 2. So, I mean, you don't even need... obviously, it's more... The thing is, people, they can see it coming and who knows how they can react to it. I don't think there's much they can do. But that's one way to do it. But then you give away the idea that there is a T towards squeaky, which you don't always want to do. Because the CTs can adjust the way they hold.
James, we saw this yesterday as an anti-AWP play. Sorry to interrupt you.
Please be my guest.
But okay, well, we saw it actually from a bit further, and they kind of run boosted like across the angle that an AWP would hold. But obviously, this just might be a stack. I thought maybe they would go for, you know, they were actually going to set up a run boost or something. But
this actually reminds me, when there is a stack with 2 players, the radar shows the player on the bottom and his number instead of the player on the top, which is really irritating if you're observing, because you'll always press the number you see, which is the one on the bottom, which is the one you don't want to see. I am going to message this to Valve right now. Dan, please commentate.
All right. Well, no run boost, but maybe we'll see it later. I mean, German teams previously were quite well known for actually all kinds of funky run boosts, especially on a map like Cache, where lots are possible on the A and B site, and also to be aggressive with on middle and as we've seen into the B site from B storage. So again, NiKo doing what NiKo does on pistol rounds, which is inadvisable. Do not try this at home if you're not NiKo, buying a deagle on the pistol round. But NiKo does it, and here we go. Push comes in onto the A bomb site. Perhaps NiKo can get some tags in to help his teammates out, who only have the P shooters in the Glocks, as opposed to his high-powered deagle, although he's going to get dropped immediately by Scream. If there's anything Scream can do, is drop multiple players with the taps on the pistol round. That is where Scream is incredibly scary on a routine basis, and that's going to be a cleanup there for G2. Did G2 win the first pistol round as well? I forget, actually, who won the first pistol round. Do you recall?
The scoreboard can tell us. It was G2. They had won both pistol rounds, Dan.
Okay, yeah, so that might inflate things a little bit. Very tough if you lose both pistol rounds, but we'll see if Mousesports can get the force buy working for them. And now it's going to be 3 MP9s. Aggression from shoxy. He's going to get punished. 0 damage done from shox. And now the MP9 in the hands of Nex. Things okay still for G2, but they could start to get scary too. Scream able to pick up some damage there, tagging down Denis, receiving minimal damage in return. So that's a small win. But the early damage battles are surely in the favor of Mousesports, who have killed the player on top of the damage done to Scream. They're readying to go over the top into Scream, perhaps. Scream could have a field day here, but actually it's just one player. So they want to set up a split onto the A site. Or well, basically push onto the A site with a lurk in mid, more or less.
So the few nades the T's have starting to stream into the A bomb site. Scream, how many can he get? There is a flash, not willing to push through the smoke though, going to come in from the back. 2-man spray down, he's got 9 bullets left. Just about doesn't find the third, he's going to get taken down by him as well. So 2 versus 2, the bomb gets planted. Next has an MP9 now. chrisJ on the deagle, no armor onto chrisJ. Next, not much HP, but armor. So you will see where this is taking chrisJ, hiding behind a forklift. The aim punch too much, he can't get a deagle shots off. Leaving Next alone versus 2. 2 players with helmets. Flashes still coming in. Next has been spotted. Got a fight from 2 sides. But again, not much HP. RpK will finish him off. Booty will be collected, or bounty, depending on... There's more booty in the UK. Means something else in America. But in the UK, booty will be collected.
Yeah, swag. Bags of swag.
Bags of swag.
It's funny in those super old cartoons, if ever you had like a villain who was like, you know, stealing something, he would have a huge bag, and always written on the bag would be swag.
Shouldn't they just like fill that bag with potatoes and put the actual swag in another bag then? You know the 419 scammers in some countries there. Sometimes people will pretend to be scammed by them and they'll say, hey, if you if you can cover the postage, we can send you like all these laptops, but in fact it's a washing machine full of bricks, a broken washing machine, and the postage costs hundreds of dollars because of the weight. Anyway, Mousesports on the eco here. There is a bit of Kevlar bought onto Next and NiKo. Eco. Walking slowly towards the A sites. chrisJ's opted for a flashbang, which is more than some of the ecos from G2 offered. That said, they're all getting shot in the face, Dan. So failure will be achieved. chrisJ though. Oh, hello. Wow. 2 frags for him. There's still a player on the site, which means it's still going to be difficult to get the bomb down. The bomb is down, but it's down on the floor, not down because it's been planted. All headshots, almost.
I think that first kill from chrisJ, I don't think one of the player that died first, I don't think he had a helmet, because it just died from one pop from the P250 at mid-range. So I don't think he had a helmet. Well, buy a helmet, ladies and gents. Be safe. Go forth and be safe. So 10-8, and G2 will be up against the first buy of Mousesports, who definitely is feeling a little bit hard done by from losing both of those pistol rounds. Never a nice feeling, but they have the open chrisJ and a decent selection of nades to work with. So we'll get to see the default here for them. The setup from G2 is an aggressive, well, or rather a forward mid take. I wouldn't say aggressive, but they also have a player just poking into A main for a bit of info, just briefly. It is SmithZz, and he's alone on the side.
I'm surprised he's actually retreated because he went all the way in. I presume he creeps behind the smoke. I can only imagine that he didn't jump on the boxes behind the smoke to see if anybody was in A main. Otherwise, I would imagine that he would stay in there because that would be quite significant map control. Either way, he's chosen to retreat. You can see chrisJ seeking for someone to receive a missile towards B, but no one is holding the angle. Speaking of angles, we see Denis here on red into warehouse. So he will make the first move down on the chessboard. Yeah,
it's really interesting because Mousesports, if they go for a delayed mid take, actually G2 are set up to defend that very well. They got a 3-man mid hold at the moment, and where they are weak is on the bomb sites, but where they can also potentially be strong is on fast rotation. So they might allow a bomb to go down, but they should be able to respond quickly in getting the kills before the afterplan comes in. But chrisJ gets a frag in middle here, and now shoxy's under assault. He's going to go down in the vents as well. This is a big problem right now for G2. Their setup in mid has been completely destroyed, and now bodyy is on the bomb site alone. He has to get a lot of kills here. He gets absolutely zip. And that's going to be SmithZz now looking to save. He didn't even get to play this round. Just got to walk around and look concerned, looked intense. But now he can do nothing.
Yeah, but if he, I mean, he went into, I wonder what we didn't get to see him while he was in A main, but I do wonder what the purpose of it was. Like if he goes into A main and sees that there's nobody in there, then why doesn't he stay in there? Because if he holds an aggressive angle there, then they can put more players elsewhere if they want to.
Well, I guess because they had 3 guys in mid already. So, I mean, one of the reasons why the 3 in mid is good is because you have fast rotation, you get information and stuff. Maybe he felt like it's too much of a risk, because if someone goes door, he can get caught from behind. And because of the 3-man mid hold, maybe he didn't need to go to take. I don't know. I guess it is. There is some risk there. If he just dies, that's the bomb site gone immediately. But well, I don't know. Not necessarily. If it's just 1 versus 1, it's hard to say. You should tweet him, James, and ask him. Round 19, SmithZz. Explain.
Well, this time they have 3 over towards the A bomb site. Make it 4 with a player towards car. So perhaps a hard read coming out from G2 on the pistols, or it's just a stack in fact because they're on eco. Mousesports are going to wait and wait and wait. I do wonder if I feel like we've seen increased waiting, just generally speaking, in the last few months. I do wonder if it's down to the extended round time, because really I think now enough time has passed that we can have some measurements and see. Nice. He's trying to capitalize on NiKo going for the reload there. NiKo still had bullets. Either way, SmithZz has the gun, so good play by him. The AK picks up and Mousesports are going to push anyway. Carpet, old flames going to be in the A bomb site, and that is very, very nice play so far from the T side. They lost the 1 AK, but it's well long gone now. Shox with the deagle and bodyy with the P250. Since that AK was stolen away, they've managed to get any kills. Bodyy's alone now, 23 HP. He'll get a consolation kill and then be finished off. So as I was going to say briefly, I do wonder if we have enough time, well, enough data rather, to see if it was worthwhile change, or what the impact of the change was in terms of the round time and the bomb plant, the C4 timer.
Yeah, it depends on the team a lot as well. I mean, you can see a team that's more cognizant of controlling pace. They use the time, but in a better way. They like have really fast rounds, or they could have really slow rounds, or they can kind of go mid. They can go kind of a medium speed. Like the extra time allows them to have even more, like on their dial of speed. They have more versatility there. For some teams, like Luminosity are a very good example.
Exactly. Yeah. Yesterday's matches in particular.
But yeah, right now, if you consider like G2 won both pistols, and it's a 10-10 right now, which tells you, potentially that 6 of those rounds, or only 4 of those rounds have really been against proper buys of Mousesports on either side. But we'll have to see whether or not G2 can have a resurgence. But definitely Mousesports are looking better at the moment. They're finding more edges consistently, a little bit sharper on the 1 versus 1s overall. And G2 looking to try to defend with the pistol armor. The Cozy buy is in on the defense and moving into the stack do Mousesports, but can they pick up the kills? NiKo still defending the door. And 4 versus 3 now as 2 players die.
There are still more mollies here for the Mousesports side. You can see them flying in. Scream forced from his position, but shoxy and Scream get 2 more frags. 40 seconds left, so there's still time for Mousesports to meticulously take things out, and they're still throwing Molotovs into the site, but now G2 are able to reposition. Dennis getting dinked here. This looks like a lost round for Mousesports. Bomb down as well. Last player on the site, that's Spiidi, gets into 1 versus 1 with bodyy, but he's going to get wrecked as well. 3 players surviving for G2. They pick up 2 AKs and an AWP down. Yeah,
that's massive. That is really huge, and that's kind of the that's what happens as well when you, because for example, there's 2 ways to handle this. If you do just decide to play without information into a bomb site when there can be a stack, it's okay if you throw all the nades immediately and just go in with the nades no matter what, right? Because then you gain position at the very least, and you get the bomb down, which then forces the pistols to have to play in the open, which is very good for you. But they got that situation where they lost a player or 2, and then because all the nades didn't go in at once, the pistols had too many spots to move in, so it's still too dangerous, and they just got stuck. So, yeah, that's something that can be improved for Mousesports. Get on the Astralis or NIP or Luminos. Well, actually, Lumi aren't as good on their anti-ecos as some. They love to be scrappy, does the LG side. But moving back here, we have Denis up on a 4 position here towards the white box. And he is actually potentially a massive playmaker for the team. The spray down comes in. He takes a little bit too long to get that first frag though, so will get traded. But the rest of his team, they've got the distraction. They've been bought the time and the opportunity to take the bomb site, get the bomb planted, and G2 now rapidly trying to scramble back into a retake. Scream looking for that first 1 versus 1. And he's actually quite close and on the side here. Scream could be dangerous. Let's see if he can get something done. Shut down straight away by NiKo though.
We've got retake smokes coming in from the CTs. But they're all dead, Dan.
But there's no CTs.
There are no CTs left to use the retake smokes, and therefore there will be no retake. 11-11. And money is getting dangerous for both teams, actually. Never mind just G2. Whoever loses this round will be suffering financial hardship. The bailiffs will be in the van on the way to the door to take the fine china. So 11-11. Again, tons of Molotovs on the Mousesports side. They've been putting them to good use despite that costly run versus those 5-7s over towards the A site prior. Got a run boost coming in now, but I feel like Nex should have heard that. Because, I mean, I heard it from his perspective, so he should have heard it. What will the Mousesports side do with the information, though? NiKo playing squeaky on both sides of the map. We've got Spiidi holding the B push. Well, he was, but now he's moving over to join his teammates as they approach the 1 minute mark. The bomb is headed toward main as well. So is this going to be 5-man on road into Ada? That is the question. Well,
it does look like it could always end up being just that. But it is a bit slower due to those AWPs, I suppose. And chrisJ has got himself that smoke he looks like he wants to throw. There it is. Going over the top there towards the connector area. Boom, there it is, blooming, and they have a mid-take do Mousesports. So a bit of structure here for them to take over middle. And Scream's going to fall back now. There's not much he can do here other than just hold connector, make sure no one pushes it, and flanks the team. And the A split is indeed set up right now. The bomb is waiting on Squeaky patiently on NiKo. He's down to 34 health already, so a little bit worried for NiKo, but here comes the push. The first entries are made. Looking good here for Mousesports on the initial entry, getting some ground, but they've got to get the frags here, moving through the fire. Trades here going way better for G2 overall. Although it's a 2 versus 2, their health is very, very terrible right now for the Mousesports side. And here is RpK and bodyy moving in for the kill. And there is one just next now against 2. bodyy weak. Oh, if he gets the instant kill on RpK, yes he will. Oh, and bodyy so fast on the shot. bodyy could not put a single foot wrong in that last 1 versus 1, and he did not.
Dan, did we see a 180 headshot from shox? I'm pretty sure he killed a guy towards car and then 180'd and shot a guy straight in the face who was immediately behind him.
That's just what shox does.
Playing pretty well, but again, we did see that Nex, he used the information of the player boosted towards A bit later on. Despite losing the round there, I imagine that Mousesports probably felt that the A site would be a bit weaker because they had that player in what is normally a strong position. Either way, Mousesports will be the ones to have the broken economy now, an AWP and 2 AKs, but body's been taken down immediately. They're trying to move in fast, but the counter flashes have come in, and that's ruined the push, and that's given the CTs time to rotate a second and third player over towards the B bomb site. We have NiKo still lurking over towards A, but meanwhile RpK's next to go down. The bomb's left in a passive position, so the CTs won't be able to confirm that it's coming that way. shox now coming up with a bit of an off angle there in the higher ground, taking Denis down, getting some headway back for his team. With Scream on the site with an AWP, but completely missing the shot, not even an attempt at a sweep there. That's close, and never been much of an AWP Scream. He's not going to be able to hold a site for his team. 4 versus 1 with shoxy stuck outside the smoke.
You can't one-tap with Mob James. Whoa, it's happening again. shoxy's pulling it out of the bag. The FAMAS, the French gun in the French hands, but NiKo is going to make the rotation with chrisJ, and they're going to make shoxy really work for this. He's picked up 2 kills, but now he's going to have to sprint over to the A bomb site, and he's going to have to make 2 more. He's picked up the AWP as well. Is he going for this, or will he save the AWP?
Oh, he's got $1,100 in the bank. So 1 versus 2. I think shox is going for this all day. Does he have a kit though? That is the question. He does. So lots in his favor. Just needs to find the initial frag, although the clock continues to tick, so maybe his mind will be changed if he doesn't have a kill coming in soon. He knows that Mousesports will have the time to set up their post-plant positions. Continuing to approach the site, but listen to the bomb tick here. he's going for the hero play. Oh, he's using the smoke to try and bait NiKo to stay onto the site. And indeed, NiKo will die.
That's really
Goodbye
smart.
to you.
That's so smart.
shoxy
So
showing
smart.
his intelligence.
That is so smart. It says 4 kills there, but really he got 5, basically.
Yeah.
So
but again,
really
we see how
nice.
how important shoxy is at the moment. Again, that 180 on the A site in the prior run was just bananas.
He's just so bloody good at this game. He's just incredibly talented, is shox. He's so good. His return to form is great to see, but the thing is that I feel like he needs to be on a team where he can do a lot with that.
He must play with SmithZz then.
He must play with
He
Smith.
must play with SmithZz at all costs.
At all costs. It does definitely seem to be quite costly, but NiKo is going to take down shox, so the danger man is out of the round, although SmithZz could be the danger man in reality here, as he has the big gun, the AWP, and Mousesports will perhaps go for a slow approach now towards the A site. And they do have middle at the moment. No one towards B storage just yet, which is why it does feel like they are thinking more towards A, but you know, that can always change. Obviously now there is a stack on B from G2. Mousesports do not have information, but they will creep up short. Or into middle at least. Will they go into short? Will they, James? Will they go into short?
Well, they'll look into short Dan.
But will they tread the ground of short? NiKo treads.
They're in short Dan. Well, one is.
They're now on short.
Now they are now plural Dan. There is more than one, so they are indeed on short. Although I suppose if one, you could still say they, because they as a team.
Yeah, that works.
English with Bardolph and Kapadia. So Mousesports will slowly realise what is going on here and expose the plant to the masses. Plant has been exposed, Dan, to the masses. And G2 might just stay here on the bomb site because look at all the investments they've made. They've got 4 players of armor and an AWP. Although they may want to try and put up a better protection in case Mousesports tried to hunt them down. So all being on the site might not be the best idea. We saw a bad save from Optic on train yesterday, but it all went to upper B and just got wrecked in the corner with nowhere to go. So they'll have RPK spotting, it seems, from T-Spawn, which will make things interesting going forward. So Mousesports will be a round up versus G2, 9 players surviving in round 25.
All right, well, a very, very slow one that round. I mean, essentially, absolutely nothing happened, more or less. So,
Well, one person died there.
One person died, and then both teams took it super slow. So Mousesports 13 to 12. Is this the first map, James? I don't even know anymore. Where are we? Where am I?
This is map 2 then.
Where am I, James? Is it map 2?
I believe it is. Or is it?
I honestly don't know what's going on. I just don't know what's happening right now. I'm having a crisis of
The rounds are so slow, Dan. You've gone into the twilight zone.
yeah, that's absolutely true. There's so much CS that I costed recently. Everything blends together at this point.
This is indeed the first map.
Okay, it's
Cash, Cobblestone, and Dust 2.
the first map. You had to check.
Cash, Cobblestone, and Dust 2, Dan. That's what's going on right now.
Oh my god! All right, Cash, Cobblestone, Cobblers. That makes sense. All right, so we're gonna have Mousesports setting up to pick into a NiKo again. Just it's quite cool how NiKo is always on door. You know, on CT side he's on door, on T side he's on door. He's the master of the door. Although you should think that he would be in his interest to, you know, get some WD-40, remove the squeak from the door, but it will continue to squeak. Ooh, that peek from Scream, that was dangerous, and in fact, it's shoxy who gets the kill towards door. The master of door, the king of door, has now been down by the door, as we have shoxy moving in further for more frags. Wow. Trying to get lucky there by Forklift, but he will find nothing. Nada. chrisJ can't easily get out onto the site. The frag needed to be made by Next, but he can't pull it out of the bag right now. RPK falls back to safety, and now again G2 on one of these really unlikely rounds look like they're going to this is really annoying to deal with, and there's the first frag, and now all of a sudden chrisJ can't easily get out onto the site. The frag needed to be made by Next, but he can't pull it out of the bag right now. RPK falls back to safety, and now again G2 on one of these really unlikely rounds look like they're going to win against Mousesports. So this is really strange. And James, like if you look at it this way, right, this is the first map, right? So it's weird how actually slow this map has become. So both pistol rounds have been won by G2. So but G2 are only just now going to be in a position where they're tied with Mousesports. But think how many rounds that they have won like that round. It's kind of nuts. They haven't actually won against many buys of Mousesports, if you think about it. Because they win the pistol, because of the pistol wins. The wins against anti-force buy, anti-ecos. And then the wins with, like, I think 2 or 3 wins at least, where they just have pistols.
Well, you may be right then.
So they need to win against buy rounds. that's supposed to be how this game works, James. Buy versus buy. You win those.
So NiKo and Denis going to be boosted up. And there are many, RpK caught in no man's land. Scream answers though, 2 headshots there, make it 3 kills. They talk about my headshots. It's an easy 3K for Scream, 2 people directly above him. 3 guys with 1 clip from a 20 magazine. Silence them 4. Lovely stuff by him. And that is a trio of kills that can take his team into the lead here over Mousesports. But Scream, he's in the back, but he's got all of 6 HP then. There is a Molotov onto chrisJ. But where would he opt to use it?
Indeed, it's a tough one. Scream is going to go for the ace, and boom, there it is. Picking up the ace, all 5 frags for him, the AWP as well, for the double AWP setup. And, well, Scream is going to deliver. Scream fragging pretty well, up there with shoxy now, after the ace. In fact, a little bit ahead. And this is such a strange cash game, James, because that's one of the few buyer versus buys that G2 have actually won. And it was just because Scream was able to manage to defend middle by himself.
3K and 20 bullets then.
Yeah.
That is quite something. With 2 of them directly above you, no less.
Yeah, that is really hard to do. And sometimes Scream can just go nuclear like that, and that is why he can be very dangerous. And now we've got the smokes coming in onto the A-bomb site, but will Mousesports go for it? This is a classic A set piece from on cash on the A site. And NiKo just jumping over the top here, trying to find any CTs which they may have isolated on the site, but there are none. G2 playing it smart actually, and not allowing themselves to be caught by the ETs. And the bomb will go down. But more importantly, G2 looking like they'll close the round. They have a Molotov or an incendiary, an HE, a bunch of flashes. They should be good here on the retake.
RpK just holding the angle. Oh, the Molotov comes in. Next managing to escape though. Flash still trying to tap some players down. And he'll be trying to duel with 3 players in a matter of seconds, but no kills for the T's. The CT's continuing to come in closer. Next, NiKo with some frags. Down to a 2 versus 1 though in favor of Mouse. shox up on the top. He's got people front and back. Kills one of them, but he just can't clutch that much. And Mousesports take the round 14 to 14.
This game is so weird. It's so weird because another round 1 with the pistols, right? And okay, that's sure that can happen, but it was really well played by G2 to allow the site almost to be taken, because once you have those nades to throw in, if you the thing is that they all ran in I mean, you expect them to get the trades. I don't even know what happened, James. I don't know how they didn't get the trades there.
One thing I want to note is, again, we see the smoke that lands on top of red, where Taz capitalized on, if you remember when we had Virtus Pro versus NIP on cash, and Taz countered the NIP pushes into the A bomb site by standing on the white box behind red. And I want to say it was in a North American match where we saw people smoke the top of red.
Yeah.
But we wondered if it was, I wondered if it was deliberate or not. And someone said something that was completely nonsense anyway. But we see a very deliberate smoke there by Mousesports, again, going on top of red. So we see the evolution of the executes on the A bomb site. It's
really cool. I mean, you can see how NiKo allows NiKo to just jump onto the red container and get basically more safely clear out everything behind the container instead of just wrapping around. And you attack from multiple levels. You avoid the close headshot wrangle if, let's say, they have a pistol there for some reason. So yeah, that's like a super cool way to just guarantee a bomb plant quickly. But the weird thing again is that G2 played retake there purposely. Okay, we don't want to get caught by the Tech 9s, because if you're playing close there against the grenades, it can always happen whereby you just get caught and just sprayed down by the Tech 9s. It just can happen. They get a quick headshot at those ranges. It's very dangerous. So you let them have the site, you let them sit on the bomb plant, then you throw in the nades, then they like the incendiary, for example, then they have to move. and you get all these cool angles as a team, and you should be able to spray them down the rifles. But they all kind of went on these very close angles and just got kind of wrecked by the Tech-9s still. I mean, the Tech-9s are always dangerous, but it did look very... It's just the story of this match is super weird because it's a very close game, and G2 have won loads of rounds similar to this. Not as many, just buy versus buy, as I've mentioned. And they've also won both pistol rounds as well, which obviously adds to that.
Yeah.
So in reality, it feels like Mousesports should definitely be winning this match because a lot of rounds they look much better, but it's still like a really close scoreline. In fact, G2 could win it. So, and I think most people do feel like Mousesports absolutely should be winning this matchup too. So it's a kind of a weird game because also it's really slow.
It is
really
insanely slow. Yeah,
Yeah.
People are just running down the clock for fun, Dan.
Yeah.
Just want to see how much things we can find to talk about without going full NA broadcast.
Yeah. Well, I had that moment where I just completely lost sense of time and where I was. I honestly, that actually happened. Like that actually happened. I had no idea what was going on.
The Twilight Zone was there.
Yeah,
Just a quick reminder, after this
engaged.
game, we will be opening another Cobblestone case for one of our subs, so make sure you stay during the break and get involved in that. But for now, we will resume the game 14-14. Not much indication of where this first map is going to go in this best of three. So we have AWP onto chrisJ, we have an AWP onto SmithZz. Passive start towards A. SmithZz will be dropping the smoke and then moving in. He will have to be wary of the corner, the top right corner of the smoke and his position because you can't see through that over towards the bottom.
Yeah, Mousesports just have to guarantee the overtime because Mousesports, I think, should be quite favourable into the overtime. But again, you know, if they lose this round, they are really screwed for money, I think. So yeah, they are screwed for money. So this is a must-win for Mousesports, and well, G2 obviously are thinking the same for themselves, that is. But let's see how Mousesports find their advantage early into the round. This time, G2 are actually giving up middle. So G2, you know, altering their CD setups a little bit. Previously, we've seen a lot of three-man setups in mid, just as Mousesports were doing actually on their CT side. But this round, G2 giving up middle almost completely. Maybe a bit of a spot there with one player on connector, but that's basically, or the Z connector, but that's basically it. They're playing 2 to each bomb side. No control towards B storage, just on the B bomb side itself and on the A side itself. So super passive here. And Mousesports capitalize. They take away middle from G2 and they start to move. They start to encroach upon the B bomb site. Their presence has been felt by G2 and they start to rotate an extra player at least.
Indeed, CT to 3 players on our site. Make that 2 body taken down towards headshot. RpK taken down behind the smoke. Scream traded the 1 frag for 3. G2 in a lot of trouble here. Looks like game point for Mousesports unless shox does something absolutely insane. He is coming in all the way from T-spawn in case there's any flank. And indeed, chrisJ is positioned in the sunroom, or toxic area, if you will. Although if chrisJ continues to his right-hand side, then shoxy will never see him coming.
Absolutely, it's a tough situation. chrisJ is going to nail shox, and this is looking like the 15th round here for Mousesports. It will be. And one thing I've got to say is that for Mousesports, it was intelligent decision making because if you're going to set up an A or a B play from mid control, the B play is much more quick to set up because you can put a lot of people through vents, and you don't really need that many through the B storage area, and it is quicker to get there anyway. And when they saw that mid was completely open, they realized that it was probably a 2-1-2 setup, which means that the rotation from A is insanely far away. So as long as they get a decent entry into B, they're playing retake against 2 players, and those 2 players are going to give them enough time to get after plants set up. So
Boost coming in for the ecoing players, or force buying players rather, as this is the last round of normal time, and they don't have much to work with. So Scream biding his time for now, looking for any boost coming in from the T side. Bearing in mind how tooled up the T side is, I do wonder if it's worth them throwing a Molotov up to the boost, because you never actually see that. You never see the T's throwing Molotovs up.
I saw NIP do it once, actually, I think. I'm pretty sure NIP did that once. Yeah, they did actually. They did that on the timing once, I recall this, because I remember noting it mentally.
But you can do it with HEs as well. You could throw a HE off the ridge of the ceiling and it would hit Scream where he is. So not only would you do damage to him, but you would hear it collide and you would know he is there. Either way, shoxy's the first to go down towards the A site, taken down by none other than the man himself, the man with the plan he can, NiKo.
But this is the dangerous thing, right? NiKo is playing with fire in a sense, and Mousesports in that they are playing sort of the passive picks at the start of the round, but it's not going to matter. They'll get the kills, they'll barrel into the B bomb site, and this really should be G2 out of this first map, because how on earth can they defend this, or rather even retake this? AK-47, a Deagle versus 4 on the retake. One thing to note is that there is a kit on SmithZz. So if there is a hope, it is with the kit on SmithZz. So far it's looking pretty awkward. Did that take like 3 connections to take the vent out there? I'm not sure. But anyway, finally Mousesports will get the win on cash. It felt like they were going to get the win the entire time. It just felt like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. They were losing against all these like weird pistol buys. They lost both pistol rounds as well. So really, really odd, really weird map, I got to say.
Yeah, there wasn't your usual cash. Quite a very slow one as well. But don't worry, we're still awake, guys. 16-14, a close one. The next map will be cobblestone between these two teams, as you can see down there. So we'll see if G2 can get back into this. Again, it was close, could have gone either way. Bearing in mind, we will also have the cobblestone case opening. So if you're a sub, get involved in the chat. You'll see instructions during the break. But yeah, cobblestone. I mean, do you have anything to add about cash?
Not particularly. I mean, it's just, I think we pretty much said it during the match because it was so slow. So I think Mousesports are going to have Mousesports should be the victors on all maps. I feel like they're favored on all maps, maybe except Dust 2. Dust 2 is a difficult one, but yeah, okay, actually no, Dust 2 as well. I think they're favored on all maps, James.
Well, there we go.
So,
we'll see what they can do in cobblestone after the break. See you in a few minutes.